A strong pre-admission process is critical to the admission of the resident to the facility. The old adage, a clean admission equals a clean claim, is always part of the process. A strong admissions process, as the resident is coming into the building, starts with assuring that the information that we have is correct, that it is in the system on a timely basis, that a timely decision is made on that admission, and that the facility is prepared to take care of that resident. Admitting a resident is truly a team approach. That approach is made through a committee called the Admissions Committee. It's important that the roles of each member of the Admissions Committee is defined clearly and their tasks outlined. The first role is that of the Community Liaison Admissions Director. Their responsibility is to assure that they gather the correct information from the hospital and from the resident and family to assure that we can, number one, meet the clinical needs of that resident. Number two, that they have a payer source, and we verify their insurance. And number three is tracking the referrals to the facility, not only those that we take, but those that we don't take, and those that choose other providers. The role of the business office manager in the admissions committee is to review the information from the admissions department, assure its accuracy, assure verifications of insurance and information, make sure the resident is put into the system correctly, and monitor the services going forward. Clinical reimbursement, or the RNAC, is another important piece of the admissions committee. That department will be defining the primary diagnosis for admission to the facility and defining the services that are being provided. They'll coordinate with the therapy department and the registered dietitian to assure that services are put in place to meet the needs of the resident, and that the documentation and scheduling is in place for that resident. The ultimate decision makers with the admission committee is the administrator and the director of nursing. The director of nursing to assure that the clinical needs of that resident can be met by the staff within the facility, and the administrator that the financial needs are met, and ultimately that all services can be provided for that resident. It's important for leadership to continually monitor the referral flow and the admissions process into the building. With that information, the facility leadership has the opportunity to continually assess their process and the service changes they may need to make to continue to be competitive in their marketplace. The pre-admission and admission process is critical to assuring a clean revenue cycle process. With the information that we've talked about and the process we've talked about being in place and monitored on a regular basis, that creates the ability for a clean, efficient billing system that will minimize denials and rejections in the back end